This is Katie Hunter from MMA UK. I'm here with Cal Pacino. Cal, you've just had your fight announced as the main event at Bellator London against James Gallagher. Third time's the charm?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking forward to hurry up and getting it done. You know what I mean? It's been a fight that obviously it's been in the works for ages, and then with everything that's gone on, and then like it got matched originally like early, like middle of the year last year. You know what I mean? So it's just been a long time coming. So I just want to hurry up and get this fight done and get it just finished off really.
And a long time for you out of the cage.
Yeah, 100%. Like obviously I fought. It was a year or just over a year now since I fought. You know what I mean? So it's I mean, everyone says about like ring rust and stuff like that, but I feel like I don't really think that's a factor at all for me. Like I feel like if you see, I had 4 years off before, and then I came back, and then look what I've done in the short like period of time. So I don't really think ring rust is going to affect me at all. I just want to hurry up and get back in, you know, and show how good how much I've improved and how good our plan is for this fight. You know what I mean? We've really worked a lot of things into this camp, game plan, and I just think it's a good fight. So I just want to hurry up and fight now.
And a lot of beef with you and James Gallagher going on online.
It's just funny, you know what I mean? He just comes out and says some stuff, so it's just good crack, you know what I mean? It's promoting the fight really, and I mean he can say what he wants about me. I don't really let it bother us at all. I find it funny, and it's not going to change what's going to happen anyway. We're going to fight at the end of it anyway, so it's just all part of it, you know what I mean? And it brings more attention to it, so I'm glad that it is becoming the way it is, because it's just bringing more attention to the fight.
And he's criticising the record of some of the people that you've fought in the past. I've seen you come back and say that they're last-minute replacement fights.
100%. Like that's one of the things I was seeing. Like it's different when you're from a huge camp and you've got 1,000,001 sponsors paying for everything for you, and you're getting these people sent to you left, right, and centre. But when you come from where we do and you building your way up on the local circuit, it's not the same. You know what I mean? You get a dropout last minute, and then you fight who's available. And you fight, you know what I mean? We're getting paid, but getting paid buttons anyway, just starting out as a professional. So you've spent more than what you're getting for the fight on your camp anyway. You know what I mean? So you just want to run out. You sold tickets. You've got people coming, so you fight whoever. And so to say that, I'm not really asked. You know what I mean? That's why I don't let it bother us. Like I 100% do. If you look at any of the UK fighters, any of them, someone's going to fought a can at one point. You know what I mean? The reason he's seeing that is because I've questioned the people he's fought, and I said that he's only had 2 proper fights and got knocked out one of them and barely won the other. But the reason I say that is because he's saying that about my record. But let's be honest, I've got myself to this position now off my own back. Has he got himself here off his own back? No. Look at these training partners, the camp he comes from. I feel like if he'd had to have the same route I've had, we wouldn't know his name now. So that's why I kind of question the people he's fought. You know what I mean? Yeah, he has fought him. Like, you know, some of them's got alright records and that, but that's why I said what I said, and I stand by, because I believe that. You know, I feel like if he'd had to have the same route we'd have, then he wouldn't be this big name that he is, and they've definitely paved the way for him to get here. So I stand by what I said, and he can say what he wants about me, but the one thing I will say is that the worse he tries to make me look, the worse he's going to look if I win. So he can say what he wants, and he can come out and say I'm dog shit, or what. I know he didn't say that, but something like that, along the lines of that, and basically made it sound like that. He can say that as much as he wants, because then it just makes my job even easier. There's even less pressure on me. The more he says that, so come out and say it more, and then obviously if I win, what does that say about him? You know what I mean? So he can say what he wants. I'm just looking forward to actually getting the fight done and progressing in my career.
He also said that, like, you were lazy with your brain scans, or you didn't get the right ones, or you didn't get the right ones on time. What do you say to that?
It's absolute dog shit. Like he can say what he wants, but at the end of the day, I got a phone call telling us one thing. I need to get an assessment. I go to get an assessment by somebody who's supposed to be renowned for being somebody who's helped fighters in this situation before, the best person that I'll get. At the time, I didn't have a penny to my name. I was using Bellator's money to get these scans done, you know what I mean? I'd already paid for it once, paid for it again, paid for the doctor, paid for the trains, and I'm getting told the same thing. And then I'm getting some doctor telling us all this shit about how even if I spar again, there's a chance that I could end up in, like, basically saying that I could end up with Parkinson's and the start of that, and the way he explained it and stuff like that. And it's easy for him to say when he's got all this money in the bank, you know what I mean, and he can say, oh, I'll get this sorted with this one, or we would have done this. But when you by yourself, travelling by yourself, and you're getting told this when off a doctor, and you've got 2 kids at home, it's like, well, at the end of the day, what are you meant to do? So he can say what he wants, but at the end of the day, I know how much I wanted to fight, and I tried to fight, and I was spending money I didn't have to try and still fight, and I'm getting told that. And then for the doctor to then tell me outright, there's not one doctor in the world that'll look at this and look at the way these scans are and allow you to still fight. It's like, what do? I've hit a dead end here. I'm spending money I haven't got, and that's the way it is. The fight's getting pulled. It's not cleared. There you go, and it comes back out. The scan does get rearranged. They get the images from the original scan, which I didn't get, and then they've compared them and they've said it's fine, you can fight. So it's like, say what you want, but I'm here now, and I wasn't the one who pulled out the last fight. I was in great shape. 3 weeks out, my weight was better than it's ever been. I was lighter than what I was the day before the weigh-in when I fought Nathan Grayson 3 weeks out this time. My camp was amazing. Everything was on track. It was him that pulled out. So he can say what he wants about my brain scans, but that's just taken it away from the fact that he pulled out for having a bad back. It's like, you know, he's idol, this person who he literally mirrors his life off McGregor. Would McGregor pull out with a bad back? No, you know what I mean? And so he can say what he wants about my shit, but there's a difference from someone but telling you you've potentially got something that's going to ruin the rest of your life when you've got kids, or you've got a bad back. Saying he can barely even pick his gym bag up, and then... So tell us this, when you've got a bad back, are you the one driving about in your car taking selfie videos? No, you can't even move your fucking neck when you've got a bad back. I've had a bad back. I've hurt my neck wrestling before. I've had a bad back, you know what I mean? You can't. There's a lot of things you can't do. He says he couldn't pick his gym bag up. Yet the day after the fight was pulled, there's a photo of him on his Instagram with a fucking gym bag over his shoulder. It's like, oh well, like, are you injured? Or if you are injured, fair enough. We've all been injured, you know what I mean? But we've all fought with injuries as well, you know what I mean? But you can say what you want about my injury, and then look at your injury and you're saying all this shit, and then it's like you've pulled out for a bad back, but yet you're going to be at the show tonight parading around like a fucking peacock, you know what I mean? So let's be honest, like, there's a difference, you know what I mean? And he's saying all this shit about that is just to take the shit away from him, you know what I mean? He can say what he wants, but I'm glad it's rebooked. I'm glad he signed, and we'll see. And if he does show up this time, then we'll see what happens, you know. And I just want to fight him. So,
do you think it will make a difference it being in London, not in Ireland, not having the crowd as behind him as he would have here?
Nah, I think the outcome's the same. I still think I honestly, truly believe that I'm going to smash him, and I feel like a massive underdog in this, and I'm glad that I'm a massive underdog in this, because it honestly makes it so much easier for this fight for me to be in that position. But nah, I honestly don't really think it matters where it is at all. I mean, obviously him having that support there's good for him, but I don't think that would have changed my performance at all. I feel like the fight still goes the same way, and I truly do believe that. And he can say what he wants and disregard my opponents and disregard my skill level or whatever, and disregard me grappling or whatever, and that just makes my job even easier. So we'll find out, you know, if he's as good as he says he is, then just turn up.
And does the beef make you want to beat him even more, or does it not make a difference?
I definitely want I definitely want to beat him, but it doesn't really make a difference. It's just
will it be sweeter?
It will be a bit sweeter, I'm not gonna lie, but it just makes us want to train even more. Like, you know, like I've got 12 weeks now, and I'm already a head start on my weight, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm gonna enjoy this weekend as if I actually fought anyway. You know, I've got a big crowd coming over still. We're all gonna meet up. We're gonna watch the match, and then we're gonna go to the show. And so I'm just gonna enjoy that, and then get back to work next week. You know, and start a light couple of weeks, and then start a proper camp. Then it will be sweet if I smash him. You know, and just looking forward to actually getting in there and just fighting him. You know, I miss the competition. I haven't fought since February, and it's a big part of. Like, I've always struggled to get fights, you know, like that's one of the things I will say. He's saying about my opponents, but I've never wanted an easy fight. I've always asked for the hard fights and struggled to get them, so he can say what he wants. But if I beat him, just watch the space and watch the people I seek out after this, because if he's saying I don't want hard fights, if I win this fight, there's not a fight I'll say no to.
Is there someone you'd call out?
Possibly, maybe there is. There's a few of the bigger names, that could well become like as an option if I win this fight. So we'll see. But we've got plans, you know what I mean. And I feel like if James beats me, I don't think you'll see him in them fights. I feel like you'll see him get the same way that a lot of the other fighters get treated. They get these different big fights, but they're not fighting tough opponents, and I feel like if I win, I will seek out them fights. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Cal, I feel like I've said this to you so much, but I'm really looking forward to this fight. I feel like the more we're made to wait for it, the more beautiful it's going to be.
That's it. It gets better with time, and it will happen. So it's all good, and I'm glad it is in the UK this time. I'm glad it's in England, and I'll be able to get a tribe down there. You know what I mean? And we'll make some noise. It'll be a good weekend for sure.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for talking to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.